Welcome to part one of the One Lap Hero upgrades the MX-5 ND. But first of all, if you have not seen our long-term review of this car, stop right now, go and check it out. You might be wondering why there is this big pile of parts in front of us. Well, I was at a crossroad. Either I was selling the car or we would find a way to make it more interesting and make it more engaging. And now we will travel back in time to see how our partner I.L.Motorsport came in and helped us.
A shame, think something new under the sun.
This is one of my favorite cars.
Take back them things you already done. No, you blame things that you do on somebody else. No.
So we are finally, this is Cappuccino. So we are finally reunited after months. We have a new project brewing that involves all of us. Actually, we have multiple ideas, and we are going to grab some parts to make it all happen. And there is Sergio driving this car. Sergio at the wheel, the talent at the wheel, yeah. He also, as you might know, he's supposedly building his car, and hopefully
All MX-5s.
yes, and
With the fastest MX-5
hopefully
ever.
we will get the last parts that he needs to do it. Of course, then this doesn't mean that he will eventually build the car, but at least he will have all the parts there. So at least he will not have that excuse anymore.
Need help. Oh, but still you try so hard to cover up your games. You try so hard, hoping that one day something gon' change. You waste all of your time covering up your tracks. Spend all your days running away. You gotta watch your back, and that's the facts. You spend so much of your life scheming and trying to get over. Got you wondering why you come around. All you get is cold shoulder.
We have a big pile of parts here. Everything from as simple as the steering wheel to try and fix the driving position a bit with a flat bottom, all the way to an upgraded flywheel and clutch. But today we will focus on the part that maybe I'm most excited about, which is a set of coilovers. These are not in production yet. It's a development kit, and I'm really looking forward to install them in the car. Although we didn't actually prepare for it in any way, so we didn't check any YouTube videos, we don't have a workshop manual with us, we don't really know how the car looks underneath, we will just lift the car up and improvise and hope for the best. When you have a big challenge in front of you, it's always good and smart to break it down to smaller pieces and try to succeed many times because this motivates you. So this is why we will start from here. Hopefully we can make it. First success of the day done. This looks actually very cool. It was an upgrade I was looking forward to do because it's much better than the standard antenna. But it's about time for us to move to the big ticket item. As some of you might know, I.L.Motorsport has had a very successful racing team running in MX-5 Cup for years, running NAs for the most part and now swapping recently to the ND model. We have here a couple of braces, front and rear, that are the exact same item that runs into their race cars, and we have here a coilover set that is actually derived from their experience on track, but will be more a road and track version of it, and we are so pumped to be involved in the development process of this kit. We will test it on the road, and of course we will also do some testing on the Nordschleife, which we are really looking forward to. Yeah, let's get it on the car. Professionals at work. These are adjustable end links for the standard front anti-roll bar. These are very fancy set of springs. We went full Monty, we are the One Lap Heroes after all, so we spec'd it with the race-ready spring rates. 800 in the front and 450 in the rear, or 14 kilos in the front and 6 kilos in the rear if you prefer those kind of measurements. We feel this is probably what we would like to have in the car, but also we feel this might not be what you want to have in the car. There will be another set of springs which are more catered towards the road and track sort of use, which we will test and develop in the upcoming weeks. But for the moment, we will focus on this one. Let's see how it works. Of course, nothing you have not seen before. This has been already thoroughly tested by I.L.Motorsport directly with their demo cars. The reason we also get a kit is to go the last step of development, sort of. For once, I've known to test the material to its limits. Let's put it like this. So if it survives our treatment, this set will probably survive whatever you can throw at it. And we are here in the wheel arch of my MX-5 ND, which has seen better days, but it's not that bad either. So this is how much pad I still have left after 82,000 kilometers. You might argue that it's about time we change them.
I would say that we have a few more laps in there.
Whoa, look at the inside one. Car is finally up on the lift. It took a little bit longer than expected. We had a look. We have to remove a few parts. We start right now. We start from the front axle. Hopefully we will remember how to put back everything together later on. We have to obviously remove the top bolts. There is 3 of them. Then there is 1 single bolt at the bottom. We have to remove the anti-roll bar drop link because anyway we have to change it with the I.L.Motorsport part. We think we have to remove these 2 brackets. We will try to do it without removing them, but I'm afraid that we will have to. And I'm afraid also that we might have to remove the arm entirely, the top arm. But we will see, which means that we will have to undo these 2 here. But we will try without doing it, and let's see. So to install suspension in the ND, you don't need tape. But we are the One Lap Heroes inside and outside. So our attitude towards life is One Lap Heroes. So we don't have a light to shoot. So the only solution we could think of is to arrange this kind of deal. Let's see how it works.
So we're actually taping an iPhone on a wheel up. Possibilities of this going wrong, like...
How many times will this iPhone fall while we film? But I think so this actually works.
Okay.
We need surprisingly few tools to the job. We begin with the 12mm. We remove these 2 brackets. So these are already out. Next thing, I will take out the drop link. This again, you don't need to do. You just need to take one of the ends out of its sitting place, but as we are replacing it, we take it out completely. If the end link does not come out, or rather, if the nut starts to turn and it turns freely, don't go crazy like we did. Basically, there is inside the, I will show you, because we have one here. So inside the screw of the drop link, there is like a socket that fits perfectly with a 5mm Allen key, which is what you need to use to keep this from turning. we started screaming and wanted to set the car on fire, but it was just this easy. Yeah? So the power of editing, it will look like I know what I'm doing. Since we installed already everything on the other side, although Kostas didn't want me to say that, we already did the other side, and we put the shortened drop link on the other side, which is creating a lot of tension in the anti-roll bar, which means that basically we cannot take this out. But actually, you know what? We leave it in there and we move to the next thing. Removing the top mount is quite a straightforward job. There's just 3 bolts, 14 millimeters. Just undo them, and then we will take them out by hand. So after this, the shock is already free to move from the top. I am sure that actually if you read the manual, it says that something absolutely has to be done first and something absolutely has to be done second. We are just going to do stuff random. While we are changing the coilovers, of course, we will take the chance to also install the strut bar and change the strut bar mounts. Just take care of the fact that left and right are different. There's not really any way you can get it wrong, but take care for it. These parts are direct plug and play. This is the original part that comes in the car, and this is the upgraded I.L.Motorsport part. They are basically bolt-on, straight out, in. I'm sure that the manual says otherwise, but we will just undo them and remove them fully. Right, both bolts are out. The arm already wants to go, which is good for us. Need some convincing, unfortunately. We just have to push the arm down. And there you go. You have it. Okay. The bar is still engaged, but there you go. Actually, we learned something new, which is that you can take this out without entirely removing the drop link, because its drop link is still in its place. But it has to come out. So now we have to fucking make it out. There you go. Now, even the last part, the drop link, is out of the way. Starting the reassembly, so to speak. So we changed the strut mount, and now we just temporarily, bolt easily by hand. Done. Yes, this. Just massage it back into place and grab the bolts. One is there. Other one in. So for the moment, we don't tighten anything down. We just sort of put everything in place. Then the bottom. All right. Small brackets. One in, two. In as well. And then we just miss one piece of the puzzle. Ta-da! This beautiful piece. We will just do the one Lapiro torque setting, which is completely eyeball it. Done. Done, baby. The front is fucking done. Guys, we are done. The front axle is done. It was a lot easier than we predicted. Even though we had no idea how to do it, we still managed. The few stumbles we had was just because we were being stupid and we just didn't notice obvious stuff. Now it's about time to move to the rear of the car and do that as well. Front is done. We have to begin with the rear. Should be quite a straightforward job as far as there is less stuff to disassemble, but we have to take out all this liner, and there is like 600 millions of these, which is press-on clips, and that's quite an annoying job, but somebody has to do it. Subscribe, hit the bell, share, and comment. I don't think this needs to be removed.
Stop. Remove that. Stop.
We didn't talk about what we are doing, but we are now working on the rear axle. We have to change the coilovers, of course, and we will also mount a strut bar inside. It's quite a straightforward job. You have two 14 millimeters nut holding the shock absorber in place inside the car, and then you have one bolt at the bottom that needs to be removed, and nothing else really. There is like a few other small things that you have to remove from inside the boot to access the bolts, but nothing special. As we are also installing the strut bar, we will put the necessary parts inside the car, and so let's get at it. Well, we begin from inside the boot. We removed already most of the liner. We just need to remove one small bracket. It's just 4 bolts, 10 millimeters. We're gonna get out. That's it. I've been working on the car 5 hours. I'm still holding captive nuts. Now basically it's time to slam this bad boy back in. The process is just a reverse of what we've done. This being a lot shorter will require some help to lift the actual hub up to be able to screw the top mounts. The way we will show you now is the way to do it completely alone. The best thing would be to have somebody help you, but I'm alone for all that matters. So
Is this because you don't have friends?
That's also because I don't have friends, yes. Everybody hates me.
I think these are quite accurate. I don't like this attitude, I tell you. Huh?
So this is the way to do it completely by yourself. So basically you just put the jack under the hub, you lift it up, and you just line up the studs with the hole. And then this is the end result. So having a lift and having a jack, of course, makes it a lot easier. But it can be done in your garage. If you don't have a lift, you can still jack the car up, putting it on some stands, and then jack the hub up. I think this is what I would do. Now everything is lined up, and we just need to fix everything up and tighten up, and then we're good to go. We're done.
You don't do.
Yes.
This?
This is original Japanese. I can see it. I can feel it. I can smell it.
Can you smell it? Can you smell original Japanese?
When something is original Japanese, I can smell it.
The only thing I smell is someone's full of shit.
Actually, those you can smell, eh? I can tell you. Those you can generally smell. This actually, I don't think this robs so much boot space. Right, and this is it. It was easier than we thought on some aspects and a little bit more annoying in some others. Like the strut bar took a little bit of massaging to go in. But beside this, yeah, the car is on coilovers, brand new coilovers, the development kit we were talking about at the beginning. Strut in the back, strut in the front. Can't wait to drive it.